We begin with CBN News White House correspondent Jennifer Wishon. Jennifer, what did the president say about the attacks and the threat of more to come?
Well, Lori, President Obama calls the terror attacks on Paris a terrible and sickening setback in the fight against the Islamic State. Still, he's making it clear the U.S. will not change its strategy or even expand its military campaign against ISIS. This as the Islamic State released a new video today warning Washington, D.C. will face similar attacks to those in Paris. Despite new concerns among Americans, President Obama forcefully defended the vast majority of Muslims.
ISIL does not represent Islam. It is not representative in any way of the attitudes of the overwhelming majority of Muslims. To the degree that anyone would equate the terrible actions that took place in Paris with the views of Islam, those kinds of stereotypes are counterproductive. They're wrong.
After the attacks in Paris, concerns are growing louder about the Syrian refugees the U.S. is set to admit. In fact, a growing number of states are refusing to admit refugees. Meanwhile, Republican candidate Jeb Bush suggests only Christian refugees facing slaughter by ISIS should be let in. Other candidates say the U.S. shouldn't accept any refugees from the Middle East, citing national security concerns. President Obama called those suggestions shameful and un-American.
When I hear folks say that, well, maybe we should just admit the Christians but not the Muslims. When I hear political leaders suggesting that there would be a religious test for which person who's fleeing from a war-torn country is admitted, when some of those folks themselves come from families who benefited from protection when they were fleeing political persecution, that's shameful. That's not American. It's not who we are.
Now, Lori, the president says he did not receive any intelligence briefings suggesting that there was any intelligence that an attack in Paris was likely.